And we are live. Bestball with Bindles, Friday night edition. We have my good friend Ferris on the stream. Just did some Dynasty rankings last week, and we're going to rip some big boards. It's about 85% filled, so we're at the end stretch, so we're going to get it going. Hop in with us, and let's get going. Ferris, how's it going, bro? How's your week been?
Great, doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's been a nice week. Excited, to jump into some best ball with you. It's been doing a couple of these over the past month or two. But excited to see what we can cook up together.
Yeah, me too. It's always fun to get everyone has different takes, different ways they like to build and everything. And yeah, obviously, I know some people are sickos and drafting all 150 teams right now, but I would say most people are waiting, you know what I mean, to kind of for the regular best ball summer to get going. But I know you're a big dynasty bro. So like, what is your kind of best ball like exposure lead up to? Like, is it like 50 drafts, 100 drafts? Like, what? Like, do you do it just when you want to pass some time, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean for the big board, just kind of want to pass some time. I'll probably end up with like anywhere between like 50 to 75 teams. Not really trying to max this one out, but I did want to do some of these early on just because I think you can get a huge advantage with the rookies. So I already ended up with pretty big share numbers of some rookies, and that's the nice part about doing these early is like as if you can get some info early on these rookies or just have good idea about where they might go, the ADP changes are pretty drastic. So you can get an edge for sure if you target the right rookies in these drafts.
Yeah, I feel like those first couple days are like huge. You can build some absolutely crazy teams if you know the rookies and kind of have some inkling of which ones are going to rise and whatnot. I think whatever Travis Hunter was going in like pick 150, 160 for the first couple days until it adjusted. So
Oh yeah, I think initially he was like even unranked at one point, and then he started going in like 120, 130, 140. Like so you can get a bunch of them if you did it early.
exactly. We got Hartman in here. We got JT. I think we're just gonna do some big boards, not bigger boards, but we got Fantasy Football Garage. Go check out his channel. He was on with PPR Tyler last night, and he's been doing the late night streams. So go check him out. Um, yeah, anything in the first round? Like, are you just going with ADP kind of, or are you making some stances and kind of trying to load up on any of these guys in the first round?
Yeah, I think mostly first round's ADP, but there's definitely some guys, for example, like Saquon. I'm not trying to be too heavy on him since I'm doing minimum number of drafts. I'm definitely still taking him a few times at first overall or like second, but there's definitely some other wide receivers and maybe even like a few shares of Bijan that I prefer having. I just think it's for Saquon. I think he's gonna have most likely gonna have a really good season, but it's really hard to repeat like as the RB1 like year to year. So I'm trying not to be too heavy like too heavy on him if I get the early drafts.
Yeah, I agree with you on Saquon. I just think, I think overall, I think we were probably going too far and kind of like as a uh, the best ball cabal in quotes kind of was going too far on the zero RB when there's some clear values. But I really do think like it was just a perfect storm last year with all the wide receiver injuries and some of the older guys just running extremely hot. So I don't know. I'm still a zero RB enthusiast. Obviously, I'll pick my spots, but I don't want to like overcorrect just because of what happened last year. I want to evaluate this year as its own special butterfly, and I think we're gonna look back and be like, okay, yeah, wide receivers crushing again, and we're gonna want at least a good majority of our teams to be zero RB. So
Yeah, I would say I'm still more leaning towards like wide receiver heavy builds. There's definitely some running backs that I'm taking more than I would have last year. I think last year, I mean, I do think it was a kind of an anomaly of a year, as you said, but I definitely leaned super heavy zero RB last year, and it didn't work out that well. So I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of like not getting stuck with like RBs where I just the pathway for them to hit is very narrow. I still do want like maybe at least one or two guys early on, just someone who can carry the team in the beginning part of the season for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, still want to be process oriented, obviously, but I think you do want to balance it out. All right, so we got the 10 spot, which I don't mind because we can get one of those. I feel like all those receivers in the back end of the first I view pretty similarly, so always good to get that, and then we can get someone fun coming back around in the second. So I actually don't mind. Like I feel like I'm pretty comfortable anywhere in the first round.
Yeah, I think whoever you're getting in the first round is going to be a good player, and I think even at the turn this year, I'm pretty excited to draft on the turn. To be honest, you're usually ending up with two really good guys, and last year it was a bit of a. I think last year was a lot weaker on the turn than what I see this year. At least in terms of certainty, there's a bit
I
more.
agree. I feel like people like I don't know. I feel like people just say like, oh no, we got the turn again, and I'm like, I kind of like the turn. Like you're pretty much guaranteeing one of those receivers, like an Amon-Ra, BTJ or something, and then you can pair them with a Bowers, a Genty. You can pull someone else up. I think I like those combos there. So
Yeah. What about for you? Are there any like wide receivers that you really like targeting on the turn, or like in these drafts in the first round, or are you kind of sticking to ADP as well yourself?
yeah, I'm pretty much sticking to ADP. Like I honestly think Amon-Ra I'm the lowest on. So I probably take like in a vacuum, I'd probably take BTJ, Neighbors, Nico, Puka, Lamb, all those guys over him. But obviously I don't want to like just not have any of him. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
click on when he's there. And then yeah, otherwise Genty and Bowers, I think both you could justify being first round picks if we're looking back. So I think those are both guys I'm very very heavily targeting at that turn, pairing them with one of those receivers. You could even go Genty Bowers. Obviously, I don't love to start with no wide receivers just because you have to catch up a little bit, but you can definitely pull it off.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. Yeah. With Amon-Ra, I think it's same thing. Why we both me and you are maybe a bit lower on him on Dynasty, just coaching change, and then they have Jameson and Laporta there, Gibbs as well. So they just have a lot of weapons, and there's some uncertainty. He's a great player. I think it's just about the ceiling upside. When you have so many other talented players in your team, you might be a bit limited. And
Exactly. Yeah, you said it perfectly. JT says he has around 15 Genty Bowers builds. Yeah, I like that start for sure. Like I think you can get
all
some fun.
right, so we're up here. Okay, so Amon-Ra we can look up past. I guess for me it's either BT or Genty. I'm good with either. But do you have any preference here between those
Yeah.
guys?
Uh, let's go BTJ.
Okay.
I'm pretty bullish on him. I think he could absolutely explode with T Law and a competent coaching staff. And right now they don't have a ton of competition around him. Even if they do add someone, I'm not really that worried. But yeah, when someone has a rookie season like that, like load my bags up. I want all of them. So
Yeah.
and like you said, I think the ceiling for BTJ is higher. Just him being that X receiver. He has incredible yak. He's great down the field. He's really good at all areas of the field, and I think just a little bit, probably higher target volume with the lower competition around him, and just betting on that year two leap to superstardom over a guy like Amon-Ra, where we said it's not really about the player, it's more the situation, and obviously losing Ben Johnson I think it's probably not going to make that much of a difference, but it is like if you're picking between those two guys, I'll lean on the side of BTJ.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think he's a stud, and he's gonna have those massive spike weeks that we look for. And then who knows with Trevor Lawrence? Hopefully, he can take another step further. I'm not sure. Maybe at this point he is who he is, but I think that's more than good enough to support BTJ.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be special.
Yeah.
All right, here we are back up. We have Bowers, AJ Brown, London, Ladd next up. Where are you going here?
I probably prefer Bowers, but I'm good with any of those wide receivers as well. So
Yeah, I think BTJ Bowers, I'm not going to pass that up. So
Yeah,
let's rip it.
sounds good.
I know we are kind of used to the point 0.5 tight end premium, but I think even without the tight end premium, like I was saying earlier, I think you can make a case for Bowers in the first round. I think there's a little bit of just elite tight end fatigue, just with kind of Kelsey kind of busted at ADP when he was a first rounder a couple of years ago, and I just think he can probably score similarly or outscore some of these receivers, and he's in your tight end slot. So that's kind of a game changer.
Yeah, and Gino is honestly a very solid QB. So I think
Exactly.
Bowers is his. I think it's a lot more secure than it was before they got Gino. So
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Meat Gazer gifting 5 memberships. If you guys want to join my Discord, the link is below. That goes for anyone, but if you guys are in there, definitely we're going to be talking a lot of best ball, a lot of Dynasty, and I'm going to try to get some more Dynasty guests as we ramp up to the NFL draft and after for rookie drafts. So get in there if you're not already in there. All right, so we have a BTJ Bowers start, 2 year 2 players looking to take they're already kind of superstars, but that up to the upper echelon and gives us some flexibility. We at least got one wide receiver, and we can kind of see what falls to us in the next coming rounds. So,
yep, and yeah, you always can expect some growth as well, year 1 to year 2. So it's the upside of these guys is incredible, as we know. So
yeah, and exactly. Chip Kelly, fast-paced offense, and Gino just better than people give him credit for. That's just going to raise the floor and the ceiling for Bowers, which was already absolutely crazy. So what do you? Are there any picks here in the third round that you like? Any big fades or any huge targets here in this third round? Because I think you can play it a lot of different ways here. It's kind of an interesting range for me.
yeah, no big fades. There's someone I do like actually is Brees if he ever makes it up to this part, just because I think you're getting a bit of a discount on some of the negative news around him. I still think that he's going to be a workhorse. Like I don't I'm not really buying that Braylon or Isaiah Davis is going to take significant amount of touches away from him. So he's someone I think you're getting a bit of a discount here. Otherwise, there's any of the quarterbacks here are also an option I consider because I actually do think getting Lamar or Josh Allen, you get like that ceiling that you can't really get from and of course Jaden Daniels, but you can't really get that ceiling from some of the later guys. So I do
Yeah.
think in the best ball format, any of the quarterbacks are pretty good picks. Okay, we're up. So any preference here?
Well, you were just talking about Brees. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just go Brees.
All right.
I do agree. Like I think there's a little bit of an overreaction to the field stuff and kind of just the coach speak. Just bet on the talent. Their O line is actually pretty solid. Obviously, probably getting less dump offs from Fields than a pocket passer, but I think in this range where he's going, that's pretty much baked in. So I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, and it looks like the quarterbacks will come back to us as well. So we'll have some options here. Can see what we want to go with.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Thad in here, my guy. Good to see you, brother. And looks like Fantasy Football Garage.
Okay, we're up again.
So I don't mind. I don't mind going Hampton. Just I think he's a value or one of these quarterbacks and backstacking him.
Yeah.
I'll let you. I'll let you pull the trigger.
Okay, sure.
I kind of lean Hampton, but
yeah, let's just go Hampton. I think he's a lock to get the draft capital in my mind in the first round, and I think the floor and ceiling if you get picked in the first round is really high. So
yeah, and then we can kind of hold off unless there's any just crazy values that fall to us at running back, and we can just take wide receivers for a few rounds.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of, my week, on Monday, I stabbed myself with a steak knife by mistake. So got some stitches in my hand. So that was a little crazy. Nothing too, super serious, but I was like, not how you want to start your week off.
Yeah, that's 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 a rough way to start your week, but at least things are good.
Yeah.
It's a scary moment.
We got Aaron Sandy, GM, with the Who Hames logo in there, the powerful beard. And Krias says, "Be interesting to see how you fellas dig out at wide receiver here." Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
We're not going to just keep taking running backs, so we'll be fine.
yeah, I think we're good on running backs for a while. I think we have two guys that are going to be able to carry us for quite a bit there. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
still
really.
don't get the Umar and Hampton ADP. Like, I think people are just still there's a lingering doubt, but I mean, it's from all the news we're getting, he's going to be a first rounder. I don't see him making it past uh, the Chargers, Denver, or the Steelers. I feel like that's pretty much a lock. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, first round running back. Uh, it's just so solid, so safe, and I think you could make a case for him like early third, second round. If when and we see it all the time. Like the market doesn't adjust until they actually see it, even though we know what's going to happen. And I think this is a perfect case of that. So
Yeah, I think his ADP is going to climb for sure. I think right now it's been climbing a bit, but I still think the gap between him and Genty is a bit too big still. He'll probably be going in like the early 30s is my
yeah, I
guess.
agree. Yeah, Hartman says Hampton ADP is probably just anchoring effect. I completely agree. This is a slappy start. I
This
mean,
is a
it
little
is
bit, but
it is a slappy start, but I feel like usually I associate slappy start with wide receiver heavy more. But yeah, it is definitely like my guys, your guys type draft. All right, so we are up here in a few picks. Yeah, I think this is a good range. Like, right, we passed on wide receiver. I think there's still a good range here of guys where I feel like we'll have three wide receivers, and we feel solid enough here. One guy I know you're super high on Travion. That's definitely a guy where I think is also very underpriced based on could sneak into the first round or be an early
yeah,
second round pick. I definitely think he's a good value here as well. And it's just weird though, because like of how I usually build or how I want to build, it's kind of hard to get him here. Um, but I think I would be making a conscious effort to try to get more of him.
yeah. I think it's not really baked in that he could go in the first round yet. So all right, we're up again. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think probably we should definitely go wide receiver here, but is there anyone here specifically that you're eyeing maybe that you want to
I
go
would
to?
probably be between Olave and Jennings. Probably lean Olave just for the ADP. How are you feeling on Olave? Are you willing to take that risk with the concussion stuff, or
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable clicking him. There was just news today that Derek Carr might be out, for the beginning of the season, which is
probably not good? Yeah,
not something you want to hear because at least Carr was stable. But I think it just increases the possibility that they're gonna go QB. I think Shador or Dart are more likely now to be a Saint than they were prior to that. So
yeah, and I think I mean yeah, I guess maybe he might drop a little bit just with the uncertainty. Not sure exactly what's going to happen with Carr, but I still think this is such a low price for a guy with Olave. We were taking him in the second round last year, and he's just a good wide receiver. So yeah, there's a little bit of risk there, but at pick in the late 50s, I feel like I'm fine taking that risk.
yeah, yeah, same.
Um, all right, we're going to be back up here in a second. Are there any other receivers here? Since I was pushing on the Olave thing, or any other receivers here that you prefer?
I mean Jennings, if he makes it to us, is probably my pick here. If he gets taken, we can discuss some of these other guys around him too.
Yeah, let's see. We got a couple more seconds here. Let's see. Tiger Uppercut says you can get slappy at multiple positions these days. I agree.
Okay,
Thad says ball
so
ball
Jennings
going.
went in front of us. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think we still should go wide receiver just so we don't fall too far behind. I'm cool with Ridley or Jacoby.
Yeah, let's go Jacoby. I know
We
we're
can just
both.
get the stack. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say we're both Jacoby stands, and since we already have a Raiders guy, let's take Jacoby.
yeah. Good
And
with that.
I think yeah, people just hate Jacoby. I mean, obviously he's moved up with the Geno news and everything, but I feel like he's perceived as kind of a low ceiling player, but I feel like he always gets some spike weeks, right? Like he was for a while not getting any touchdowns for a couple years, but then recently, I don't find that to be the case at all. Obviously, it's half PPR, so it's like not as beneficial as if it was full PPR. Kind of his game and just racking up a bunch of targets, but on a team like this where I'm trying to catch up at wide receiver, I feel like he's a perfect wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be a perennially underrated player in every format. He just quietly puts up like 900 to 1,000 yards and a solid amount of touchdowns. And I think now that they have Geno, I think his floor has definitely gone up as well. So I think it's yeah, I'm pretty comfortable taking Jacoby in the spot here just so we can lock up another wide receiver.
Yeah, no, we just guaranteed that someone's going to snipe Geno unstacked round 15. So
we might have to take him slightly earlier just to lock that up at this point, but it's okay. We're
yeah,
definitely not getting him at ADP. It's just one of those things where if we wait for ADP, someone is taking him right in front of us.
yeah, it's one of those weird things about the 20 round drafts too, where I just feel like everyone leans towards a 3 QB, so they'll just be more willing to take an unstacked quarterback just to kind of fill out at a bye week or whatever. I don't know. I kind of miss the 18 round drafts. I don't know. I like the strategy better with the 18 round drafts. It just it's not like I hate the 20 round drafts, but I just slightly prefer it. So
Yeah. And yeah, I see Artillery mentions that Mayers only had 4 touchdowns last year. Well, I mean, that offense was just not functional last year. So I do think their offense is going to be a lot better with Geno. And there's like possibility that they take Genty as a running back there. I think the offense is going to be functioning a lot more. So I do think that overall touchdown upside for Mayers and for Bowers is going to be higher than it was last year.
yeah, that's just so huge. Like, right, like still, I mean, it depends obviously if they bring it. I don't think they're going to take a wide receiver in the first round. So even if they take a wide receiver in like second, third round, I still think Jacoby's going to be a focal point of the offense after Bowers. And yeah, the offense is just better, more scoring opportunities. It's going to be good for everyone. Pickens still here.
Yeah, people are scared of taking him just because of that situation, but I think his talent alone is what makes him a good pick here. I think.
We were just Tiger Uppercut. We were just talking about that before we hopped on. Why is Christmas tree?
Yes, that is a Christmas tree. I was telling him I just want to I need to get rid of that. The problem is I live in an apartment and I don't really have storage right now, so I didn't want to just throw it away. So it's just been kind of chilling here. I'll find something for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep it up the whole year. Just haven't figured out where I can put it yet.
Yeah, I was saying there's worse backgrounds. At least there's something there to keep it interesting. It's not just a plain wall or whatever. So, all right. So we are at a 2-3-1 build: Breece Hall, Amarian Hampton, BTJ, Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers, and grown ass man Brock Bowers. And we are going to be back up here in a couple picks. And yeah, I think there's definitely some guys we're interested in here to help our build and how we're building. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah, disbanded brotherhood. We got him speaking in the chat, not a period, and he says might as well keep it up. Yeah, just at this point, just keep it up. Nobody's
exactly.
Gonna yeah, my condo's so small. I'm like I couldn't even justify putting up a Christmas tree. I was like,
that's fair. Honestly, I was debating it and just decided, might as well put one up. All
all
right.
right.
Looks like we're up.
Yeah, I'm good with Igbuka. I think would be my lean here. Don't mind
Yeah.
Igbuka or Caleb. But I think I would go.
I think I lean Igbuka just because of our build.
Yeah, and I think he's more more likely to go first round. Burden, I mean, Burden, I don't know how to like. I don't know how to think because I think some people are super high on him. I think he could sneak into like the teens, and it
Yeah,
seems like some people are really low on him. But it does only take one team, so I definitely could see him. I lean on the
he's
side of him going higher, but yeah.
yeah, he's very landing spot dependent too, right? He's just a guy who profiles like he needs to be kind of used in a, I would say, like a hybrid Rushy Rice type of role for him to thrive. So if he doesn't get the landing spot, or if teams are just not willing to invest the capital, which is possible, there's it's a lot of mocks have him going in the second round now, and I think Igbuka is also at risk of going the second round, but I think his profile is just a lot more likely to be someone who does get end of first round capital versus Burden, who's a bit more team specific.
Yeah, let's get. I have one more word to say on Igbuka after, but yeah,
Yeah.
let's.
Okay.
Do you want to dip your toes in the RB kind of veteran waters here and get our third, or keep
Let's
taking
just.
wide
I
receivers?
think we should just keep hammering wide receiver. I'm cool
I
with
agree.
Downs here or Diggs. Think both are probably prefer Downs a little bit, but
Yeah,
try to.
I think we're both big downs
We
guys.
are,
So,
we are.
so let's
All
let's
right,
keep
let's do it.
stocking it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I think now I feel a lot more confident about the wide receivers we have. I think if we kind of go RB here, then we're going to be staring at some not so great options for our fifth wide receiver. Now that we have five, at least we can kind of play it based on like best player available instead of trying to continue hammering wide receiver if we need that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I kind of like taking some of the wide receivers like in the like not in the next few rounds, but then after that, there's just a bunch of rookies that we can add on. And since we already have five, feel better doing that. And then yeah, with the two running backs we have, I'm kind of fine pushing these vet RBs. We don't really need the early season production as much. So I think that's a prudent move taking downs there.
Yep.
And yeah, something I mean, I'm sure it's been talked about, but like the NFL just loves Ohio State guys. So I feel like Egbuka, like I don't see him falling to the second round. Like I think if he like the latest he's gonna go is like pick 25, 26, one of those good teams. Like Houston, I feel like Houston at the end of the first round, I think they're picked 25, 26. Like pairing him with Stroud, they definitely they signed Kirk, but still don't have Tank Dell, and it's just Nico and Christian Kirk. I definitely think that would be kind of his floor in my mind. So
Yeah, I do think he is someone that would thrive, in a slot role. He probably has to play the slot in the NFL. So I mean, Houston, I could see him take him just because I'm not sure if Kirk is their long-term option for them, but Kirk also plays his best in the slot, so
yeah,
could
exactly.
be a bit redundant. But there's plenty of teams that on the back end, if honestly they need a wide receiver, if Ibuka goes there, I'd be very happy with the landing spot.
As long as he doesn't go to the Bills and they just have 17 slot wide receivers.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Do you
Every
know how
single.
I can toss up the board here instead of this? Is there a way to change the format?
Yeah, it should be. There should be like a little thing in the corner here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
Is there? If you can you scroll down a little bit, like on your screen, because I feel like it might just be off screen.
No, no, it doesn't let me on this mode for some reason.
Huh?
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of weird, right? Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I can do that.
yeah. I've never seen that. That's weird.
It's okay. I'll take a look at it after this pick.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Okay.
We got some time. All right. Yeah, let's see. Okay, I know you're a big Skattebo guy. We could do that. Um, let's see, do we have any quarterbacks that we want to pair up here? Not really.
Yeah,
Unless
not really.
we could take a quarterback and backstack like a May or a Herbert or something, but I kind of like Skattebo here, and because we have a lot of quarterback options.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like Scabo here as well. I think there's a lot of upside with his profile, as we talked about earlier. I think he's someone that can profile as a workhorse. Draft capital is the only thing I'm not certain about yet. If he goes in the third round, that's okay, not ideal, but I'm hoping that he can get in the spot where it's a room where he can kind of work his way up. So
Yeah, we were talking to him on our Dynasty show last week. Still think he's kind of just undervalued based on all the news we're getting is that he definitely could be a second round pick. Teams are super high on him, and he can catch passes. He's a good runner, not the fastest guy, but we don't
Yep.
really care.
Yeah. Okay, we're up again.
Yeah. Do you want to go? Do you want to go quarterback here and go a May or a Herbert, and then we can back stack them out?
Yeah, I think we can do that. Do you have a preference between the two?
Um, I feel like probably May just for the running. But it's really close in
Okay.
Dynasty too. I feel like
Yeah.
I have a very hard time. I'm like, okay, May's gonna run more. I obviously don't love the receiving options for him, but I think the running just is so big. And yeah, Herbert was pretty good at the end of the year. What they weren't as pass or as run heavy as we thought. So
Yeah, and there's always a possibility that someone like Igbuka ends up there. We never know. So
that's true.
it's we have some options with rookies as well later on that we can pair with him.
Absolutely. So yeah, yeah. Why don't you talk more about Skattebo? Because I know you had him like way above consensus in kind of your dynasty rankings, and obviously we just took him here as our
Yeah. Yep.
RB3.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just profiles as like a workhorse. His receiving profile is one of the best in the class. As a runner, I think he's kind of someone who profiles very similar to maybe a David Montgomery, but with more agility. And I think that's a type of player that a team will be more than happy to give the carries to if if he's their best option in that aspect. So I think he can easily get 300 plus touches if he's in an offense that kind of values his skill set. And I do think if he gets a draft capital, they're probably taking him there because they do value what he brings to the table. So there's a lot of like talk about him lacking. I would say like the long speed, which he doesn't necessarily have, but he does everything else to such a high level that I think he's a player that I'm just gonna be really high on in all drafts. So yeah, I'm hoping that the landing spot is with a team that he can slide into that starting RB role, or maybe like in a weaker room where eventually he can kind of take over as the lead guy. So
Yeah, I mean yeah, I think he has a lot of outs, and the only thing he's lacking is that long speed. So I think a team's going to trust him. Good pass blocker, good receiver. Gonna get you the yards that you need to get. Maybe not have super explosive runs, but I think David Montgomery's a good comparison. James Conner, I think, is kind of a
yep.
similar type guy where it's like it's not super sexy, but he just racks up touches, racks up catches, gets goal line work. So yeah. Someone said, "Yo, there you go." Yeah,
I got it.
the
There
top
you
of
go.
it. Yeah, we're it's okay. It's our first Bestball stream in a
I had
while.
I had I had to refresh it a bit to get it going. Okay.
Kriat says, "I think you can treat Hampton as a surefire day one starter." I mean, yeah, if someone takes him in the first round or the early second, that he's definitely going to be a starter.
Yeah.
And then he says Skattebo equals Jamal Williams. I don't know. I just think Jamal Williams. I get what you're saying, but I just think Cam Skattebo's better. I don't know.
No, I think Skattebo is better. Jamal
Right.
Williams as a prospect was actually not that terrible, but I think in terms of what I see him as a player, I don't really see a Jamal Williams type. I see him more of like like you said, James Conner, David Montgomery.
Yeah.
And I do think he's showed enough, honestly, even in the combine, like with that he does have explosiveness, like his vertical
His
and his
jumps were really good,
yeah,
right? He
his
was like
jumps
a
were great.
39-inch or
Yep.
40-inch vertical, right?
Yeah, and that kind of matches up with like the agility that you see on tape with him, and he forces like a lot of missed tackles, and yeah, I think he's a good bet to take on these drafts.
All right,
Okay,
we
let's look it
have
up again.
we
All right,
have
yeah,
T-Law here. Do you want to take T-Law and pair him up with
yeah,
BTJ?
yeah. I think that's the obvious pick for us here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then, okay, we gotta kind of got to choose our own adventure here. After that, yeah, we're pretty balanced. So it's like I feel like we can go any way, whatever value we feel like is here.
Yeah, are there any players here that you have a stronger stance on early on? I think,
Yeah, I don't mind. I do like Trey Harris. I see you have him
yep,
ranked ahead of ADP. I think he's fallen kind of in the consensus mock drafts and everything, but I still think he's a really good player and could get uh, round two capital. So don't mind that. Don't mind Hollywood Brown. I just think I just think he's too cheap. Not like a super big Hollywood guy, but I just think he's super cheap. Don't think we necessarily need him in this build. Looks like Trey Harris just went. So Samson, also a guy who's getting a lot of buzz for a day 2 or early day 3 guy. Anyone else? Let me think.
Yeah,
Those,
I
those
think
would probably be my leans. Yeah.
Samson. I'm not really that high on it in terms of dynasty value, but there is a lot of talk about him being a possible like day 2 guy. So if he does get, if he does go like, I don't think he'll go round 2, but if he goes round 3, I think he's gonna have some value. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open to. I think based on what we have here, I would be pretty open to like Samson or Benson or Tuden.
So it looks like okay. So yeah, Hollywood went and Trey Harris went. So how do you feel about Noel?
I like him a lot, but I think we can still wait on him. He
Yeah,
goes
because
he,
I
go,
was
he
gonna
goes a
say his
lot later.
ADP is way further down, so we can still
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go Samson. I feel like
Okay,
that's a
sure. I'm fine to take some shares of him.
he's a good bet here. I think we're just loading up on the rookie running backs, which is on brand for us.
Yeah, I think it's fine because having Hampton, I think there's more security that he's gonna have a role immediately. So I think these are just like good upside bets to take.
Absolutely. Shout out to Tyler. He's going to be on with PPR Tyler over on his channel doing the Hot Ones wing draft. I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to go check that out. That should be absolutely electric. Tyler in the I forget his name, Sean Evans role, asking the questions, and both of them are going to be uh, doing some sauce. So it's going to get real spicy over there.
Yeah, so it seems like like you said, our team is really well balanced now. We have 2 QBs. May is someone we can look to backstack, and then we have obviously Gino picked at some point that we have to make.
Yeah, we got
But
to
yeah,
balance it.
no. So far I'm liking the look of this team. I think wide receiver is pretty solid. There's some, of course, question marks with Chris Olave, but I think the upside is at its cost. You're paying. You're kind of already baking in some of the risk that comes with concussions and maybe even the QB situation. So I think overall this team is looking quite strong.
Yeah, I really like the way we're kind of navigating the room, and yeah, like just the wide receivers we took, the Olave, Jacoby, Igbuka, and Downs. I just feel like they're not going to project that much differently than some of the guys going above them. So being able to get those strong RBs and then backfill with those guys kind of gives us the best mix of kind of like a good floor ceiling combo. And now it gives us, yeah, like we said, flexibility to take the values that come to us in the next couple of rounds.
Yep. Said do it. Guy at 6 started 3 wide receivers and that's it. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, he's that man is going all RBs.
High T.
High T. I mean that's fine. I think he has Lamb, Brown, Harrison. He has some security for wide receivers, so he can always get wide receivers later. I don't think
Yeah,
it's that bad.
not the way I would probably do it, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind it. We'll see if he can dig himself out of it. We got Caleb in here, who's in our Debbie league with us. He's asking, what's it going to take for A Rich and DJ Lagway? I'll defer to Ferris. Honestly, I'm that is the one thing I'm in a few Debbie leagues with Ferris, but not my strong suit. So
Caleb, send us some offers and I'll take a look if you're close or not. It won't be that cheap. I'll tell you that. You're not going to be able to send us some boomers and get those guys from us, but we're always open to listen.
um. All right. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it because I think I have a guy that I want to take here.
All good. Let's see 2 more spots. Let me see who's here. Yeah, there's this part of the draft. I'm pretty open to what we go.
Yeah, this is a like yeah. Once we hit this range, I don't really care about ADP that much. So I like Giddens. He's pretty fun. RJ Harvey. Those are 2 running backs. We have a lot of running backs, so I feel like probably leaning wide receiver.
Yeah.
also Gino, we're gonna have to take him at some point. So
Yeah, we're getting close to him where we have to take him.
so yeah, let's.
And then this guy has no This guy has no quarterback. So
Okay, does he? Yeah, let's see. Is no? Did someone take Noel? I was not paying attention.
no, he's still. That's also someone I was thinking we can go.
Yeah, let's go Noel. I think we're pretty solid at running back with the guys we have, so I think we need wide receiver more here as our six, and
Okay.
then hopefully we can get Gino to come back around.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that. Let's do
Don't
that.
want to jinx it, but
I honestly, if we're playing this super safe, I would just go Gino here, but just because I've seen people do this kind of stuff, but it's okay. I think he'll make
yeah,
it back to us.
that's okay. The worst that can happen is we get sniped, and I roll a clip because I added some new clips in. So we'll at least get
this guy right
entertained.
here, unstacked Gino, just to do it to us.
What's this guy's name here? It's
Philly Finn.
Philly Finn.
Oh, okay. There's one of
Oh,
them.
oh, oh,
Don't do it. Don't do it to us, man. Don't do it.
please.
Okay. We got one more guy left.
Kyle Pitts.
This guy also needs a QB. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Whew.
We made it.
Hitting on it, and I know I do it. Hitting on this, and I know I do it. Fucking on your and I know I do it.
We secured the stack and then we played some
Secure the
cards.
stack. All right, nice. This is going very well. Not getting stepped on any of the guys. So now I think what we can start looking at is any possible Drake Maybach stacks. Just taking shots at guys here, to be honest, that we like.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can. Yeah, the New England guys like Demario Douglas and Boutte and stuff like that. Like, I'm fine taking them if we get late enough. Otherwise, yeah, like just loading up on some rookies because I still think they're pretty live to draft some guys round 2, round 3, round 4. So
Yeah, there's some wide receivers that I also like later on that I'm not gonna say it right now because I don't want to get sniped, but
yeah,
there's a few guys we can take that have some upside as well.
yeah, I agree. All right, so we are at a 3-4-6-1 build. We got Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith. Okay, now I lost my train of thought.
Oh, my bad here. I'll
You're good.
pull
You're good.
that up.
Brees Hall, Amarion Hampton, Cam Skattebo, Dylan Sampson. So 3 rookie running backs. BTJ, Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers, Emeka Egbuka, Josh Downs, and Jalen Noel. I think it's Noel. And then Brock Bowers at tight end. Yeah, very strong draft so far, I think. Like very, very slappy team for our player takes, which, I mean, I'm always down for. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, I usually like you said, I don't go 2 RBs that early, but I think when Brees at that cost and Hampton at that cost are 2 guys that I'm willing to take. I think there's a lot of upside that still isn't baked into those prices.
Absolutely, yeah, and big boys that can catch passes is my type of running back, and we got those guys at a value.
Yep.
So,
yep, and we'll basically always have an advantage in tight end with Bowers week to week. So
yeah, we get
that's
to
I'm always happy to have.
If we get to week 17, we have the Bowers stack with Jacoby. We're gonna be feeling pretty good there. Yeah, Hartman, don't blow up our spot here, bro. Yeah, I'm getting excited for the NFL draft. It's crazy. It's only like 2 weeks away now. Like it's this off-season weird time where like we're getting earlier and earlier. I mean, obviously we're sickos, so we care about it, but like I feel like even 2 years ago there was like almost no content in this part of the off-season until kind of like right now, like April-ish. And now people have been drafting and doing just so many dynasty videos, everything just for like 3 months already. So it's a little anticlimactic, but I'm like just excited to finally get to the draft.
Yeah, no, same. I think I'm excited just to see where the landing spots end up with a lot of these guys. There's it's going to be an exciting class. The running back depth in this class is pretty insane. So there's going to be a huge turnover. I expect a huge turnover, especially with some. There's going to be that one team that we don't like the landing spot. They're just going to take a running back when they don't need one. But outside of that, hopefully there's not too many of those, right? So
Yeah,
Okay, I'll yeah, I have a few guys that I'll just queue up for us that like I think
I think
Jack Bash is someone that I'm pretty high on. I think he's could
how do you feel about Henry? Do we want to push him as
we
a
can push Henry because we also have Strange because we have
good point,
yeah
good point.
yeah
Okay, yeah.
I
Let's
think
go Besh. Let's go Besh.
okay yeah I think we need to keep hammering wide receiver upside here. So
I agree. Yeah, Besh. I mean, I've seen some people that are pretty high in him. He was a tight end at LSU and had a pretty crazy. I think it was his freshman year, and had a good Senior Bowl. And he could go round 2, probably more round 3, but at this point in the draft, I think some team might fall in love with him, and that could be give us some CLB.
yeah okay cool. Yeah I think Henry or Strange here both are solid picks. Lock up that tight end too.
I kind of feel like Henry, so that at least we have one
Someone
stack
with
with
Drake.
May.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm good with going that as well.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, he's not the sexiest pick, but I think with Bowers we can go 2 tight ends if we want to, if it makes sense. If there's nothing else standing out to us at the end of the draft, we can just keep with 2 and give us another stack. So now we have three stacked quarterbacks, which is what you always want.
Yep.
Especially in these 20 round drafts. So
yeah, and going back to Jack Bash, like another reason why I like him, and it's funny enough because we have another player here in Jacoby who I think is actually very similar to Jack Bash. I just think if he lands in a spot where he can get a wide receiver 2 or 3 role immediately, he's just a very solid player. He's not like one of those explosive players who's going to break the long catches, but very strong at the catch point, good hands, just a reliable option for a team. So I do think there's the possibility that team's just going to really like him, and he's in play for getting round 2 draft capital as well.
Yeah, I mean, we see guys at the Senior Bowl, right? Like so many teams are there, and I feel like those Senior Bowl guys always go a little bit higher than we kind of would anticipate. So I definitely think that someone who was at the Senior Bowl fell in love there, and we get that. Yeah, I mean, I think late round 2 is definitely conceivable. So.
Yep, and then in these rounds we're just looking for upside. So like, I think taking him compared to some of the other wide receivers, there's you can make a case for him to have a lot of upside at some point in the season. So
yeah, and yeah, just this wide receiver room, like we have our kind of consistent, solid guys. So yeah, like you said, we're just shooting for upside here. Noel and Bash, both guys that I think, we walk into the playoffs and they can come on strong through the end of the season, which is what we're always looking for rookies. So.
Yep. All right, let's start taking a look soon. Are there any other guys that go in these rounds that you feel like you're going to be maybe more heavy on than some other players? Like, is there anyone that you really want to make sure you get a good amount of shares?
I like Fannin, but I don't think we necessarily need to take him on this team. So let's see what falls to us. Not a Hopkins fan. I don't mind Brashard Smith.
Yeah, he's someone I like as well.
He's exciting. Not sure the draft capital is super exciting. We don't need a quarterback, so I would be interested in Dart or Sanders, but not on this particular team. Let's see who else. Jaden Blue. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Jarquez Hunter's a guy I like, but I think him and Smith are both more that for sure going to be probably like round 4, round 5, round 6 guys, but they have those profiles that if they land in a room where I feel like it's the competition is maybe weak, there's a way there's a chance they can work up into like a starting role eventually. So
yeah, let's take one of those. Do you have a lean on Smith?
Yeah, at this point Smith. I think Hunter's a guy that will fall way later. So he's like a guy that I've been taking like in the very last rounds.
Yeah, let's go Smith then. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll have 5 running backs.
I mean, we got 4 rookie running backs. Usually don't do this, but I think it's a good. We have like I said, we have enough. We have 2 workhorses that I'm fine taking bets on rookies here. And I do know last year the team that won this I think they had like 6 rookies on their team. So
yeah, I think that's how you win this, is just taking the rookies, and just if you hit the nuts, then you're going to be good with the rookies, and if you don't, you're probably not going to win anyways. So who cares? So
yep, and it's always nice when the rookies we take are mostly players I really like. So
yeah, I mean, these are guys I'm pounding the table for. Shout out to Steph. Happy Friday.
okay, back up again.
Okay, let's see. Can tab to receiver. Let's just see if there's anyone here that we are remotely interested in.
Yeah, this is what we're looking at now.
Yeah, I don't mind Michael Wilson. I don't mind Gabe Davis, but I don't know if we really need to do that. Otherwise, we can take one of those other receivers or take Fannin for our third tight end. What are you thinking here?
We can go Fannin. You know what? Let's just take a shot. Usually, I think with Bowers, I stick to 2 tight end builds. But you know, I think me and you both like him as like a player that could have some use. So
yeah, I like Fannin. I mean, I think we can also kind of view Bowers as like he could fill our flex very easily. So
yeah,
yep. I don't mind that at all. Shout out the Pound.
Yeah, there's just not really any wide receivers at this point that I'm gonna make a really strong upset case for, right? So totally fine taking him here.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are all the same. Like, the difference between now and the 19th and 20th round is absolutely nothing. So just take a guy you like and backfill it.
Yep.
So yeah, we have 5 running backs, 7 wide receivers. We're good at quarterback. We're good at tight end. So yeah, we can stack on probably one more running back, one more
wide receiver,
and then we're all set. And yeah, very, very balanced build, and I feel strong at all spots, and yeah, good floor and ceiling for both of those. So
yeah, I'll mark a couple guys that I like at this point. I don't really care if we get sniped on them.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean these.
I know. I don't know if we really have upside there. Yeah.
I don't see any upside, unfortunately, with Gabe Davis. Okay, I see more upside with Tutu than I see Gabe Davis, even though it's like unstacked. I see his usage being better.
Yeah, I was on with Emo Cowboy, and he was Tutu was getting some good coach speak, and historically we've seen the kind of wide receiver 3
here. Also, Boutte is. I'm actually.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
Yeah, he's someone we can definitely toss in there.
Yeah, but yeah, we've seen the wide receiver 3 with Matthew Stafford offense, and with the Rams being at least giving you some spike weeks. So I can definitely see it there for Tutu, and he just signed a $10 million contract, which is absolutely crazy. But
yeah, that's to be honest, like the wide receiver contracts now, 10 million is like what you pay for like maybe an average wide receiver.
Yeah, Diami Brown got the same.
But I don't think Tutu was getting that on the market. I mean, it's possible, honestly. There might have been a team out there that liked him a lot more. So he's actually not a bad player. I just don't think on the Rams he's ever been like a guy that's been featured, just because they've had Puka and Kupp there. So and now they have Adams and Puka, but I do think we'll see. You can't really trust what Sean McVay says, but he was talking about using him a bit more this year. So
yeah, he has a very specific role, but I mean, if someone can utilize it, I think it is that, right? Good quarterback and good offensive coach. So don't mind it.
Yeah, and then when you look at the other options like Gabe Davis, Parker Washington, I just don't really see much upside there in those guys.
Exactly. I don't mind Nick Westbrook-Akine, honestly.
He just went.
He just went. Okay, shit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, right? Like
maybe
they paid him. They probably paid him to be the wide receiver 3 there, but honestly, I think
they probably take.
I think Malik Washington is probably a better player than him, but it's hard to. Yeah, these guys. Okay. Any preference here for who we go?
Why don't we go Shipley first, and then get either one of Tutu or Boutte coming back.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Shipley was actually a really interesting prospect. Like he caught passes, he had a good RAS.
I think he's a great handcuff. So, because
obviously I think every team is kind of live to just take a running back somewhere in the draft, but he certainly could be the handcuff to Saquon, and if he is and he's going this late, then he's a smash. So willing to take the bet there.
Yep.
No more Gainwell there, and yeah, it's a profile you like, right? He can kind of do it all. So
Okay, yeah. And then when it comes to Tutu and Butte, do you have any lean here? I mean, Butte just gives us more with another option with May, but in terms of like his role, it's hard to say. Like Butte could be squeezed out potentially.
yeah,
But he did. I mean, he did play decently well last year. And there's oh well. Okay.
well, there you go. We got
There
the
we go.
decision made for us. So yeah,
Easy.
let's go.
Easy option. All right. So that rounds it out for us.
Nice. Let me just pull up some chats really quick. We got Vaporware saying smash the like. If you haven't already, go smash that. And then Charles and JT are saying they're trying to fill a bigger board, and it looks like it just filled. So good luck with that, guys. You want to run through the team really quick?
Yeah, sure. So at quarterback, we have Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, and Geno Smith. For running backs, we have Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton, Cam Skattebo, Dylan Sampson, Rashard Smith, and Will Shipley. And at wide receivers, we have Brian Thomas, Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers, Emeka Buka, Josh Jones, Jalen Noel, Jack Besh, and Keishawn Butte. And for tight ends, we're looking at Brock Bowers, Hunter Henry, and Harold Fannin. And we have multiple stacks with all of our QBs. So that's very solid build. I think we leaned into RBs a bit earlier, but like as we discussed, going Breece and Hampton is those are really good upside bets. And I think we were able to round out our wide receiver room where we have enough upside and good stable floor production as well built into it.
Yeah, I think I'd give this like probably like a B plus. Like I feel like this is a pretty strong team. Not weak anywhere, and I think we have upside everywhere, like you just said, and solid floor as well. So yeah, I don't see many holes in this one. So yeah, rate us in the chat, guys. What you would give this, and I know Steph will be honest with us and give us. She won't hold back. So, what do you want to run another one? It's completely up to you. You're on your account. So.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down. Let's fire up one more.
Sounds good. If you guys want to get in here with us, we're hopping in now. So.
Yep, got 5 spots in here.
Still need 5. So if you guys want to come take our EV, you are free and welcome to do that. Kriya says none of your wide receivers beside BTJ can reliably go for 20 plus. I mean, yeah, it's not like the highest upside wide receiver room, but I think with Bowers, kind of if you treat Bowers as like whatever can fill your flex, then he can certainly go for 20 plus. So I don't mind it. And we took RBs early, so we're just right like and we're talking about Jacoby, not like he actually has a higher ceiling than you kind of feel like he does. Same with Downs, like right if it's anyone but a Rich, I feel like he has some spike week potential, and then we have rookies who are always live to give you spike weeks down the stretch.
Yeah, so. and honestly, even with A-Rich, there's spike week potential.
Yeah,
like
true.
there's no certainty yet that A-Rich isn't going to improve a bit this year. And Downs is also a player that he's proven that he's a very, very good player. So and the thing is, like, when I think, like as you mentioned, whenever you take Bowers, your RB and wide receiver position always, like, one or the other always looks weaker than normal. But it's because you have to consider that Bowers is giving you a huge advantage in the tight end spot.
Yeah, and if we have like Henry, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, had a really big week 17 game. Like he can give you spike. You can sit tight end. Fannin, obviously we don't know the draft capital, but like he could give us a spike week in the playoffs. So yeah, if we got our tight end spot covered by one of those guys, and then Bowers just fills our flex, then we're feeling pretty good about our 2 other wide receivers other than BTJ with those guys we have. So
yeah, and with the number of rookies we took, it's you're never going to be like, you're not going to look at your team early and be like, oh yeah, like I can see these guys going for 20 plus.
Projectable volume, yeah.
Exactly, but at some point, if the rookies are actually as good as the draft capital might say they are, then towards the end of the later parts of the season, they tend to start scoring points that do matter. So
Exactly.
it's like I don't think anyone last year was like looking at Ladd or even BTJ or any of these guys and saying, oh, these guys are gonna be giving me 20 points a week. But they played above their draft capital and proved that they're wide receiver ones in their own right. So
yeah, exactly. Tiger uppercut with the high praise with an A. And then Kriya says Daniel Jones isn't boosting downs. I mean, I agree, but it's like Daniel Jones is just like, he's not amazing, but he's just like
he doesn't have to boost downs. Yeah. I mean, Flacco boosted him, right? It's like,
yeah, exactly. All right, we are up here. Do you want to go Bijan here, or do you want to take a wide receiver to just build it out a different way?
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with Bijan or Lamb. Let's just go Bijan. Let's just see
let's go Bijan, right? If he falls to us, might as well.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like when we start RB.
Yeah, I mean, Bijan could obviously be the RB1 this year. Was coming on really strong at the end of the season. And yeah, Kirk Cousins wasn't obviously the greatest quarterback last year coming off the Achilles. So I'm not a huge Penix guy, but I think even if he's just like competent, it should be a pretty strong offense with the weapons they have. And Bijan could go nuclear. So
yeah, I think he's he to me he's a lock for it as a top 5 RB, and I could see RB1 in his sight for sure. That's the thing is, compared to Barkley, you do get like some receiving upside as well. So the randomness of the spike weeks is a bit less with Bijan, I would say, compared to someone like Barkley, who needs the volume and touchdowns basically to hit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I prefer Bijan over Saquon just because I think just everything went right for Saquon last year. I mean, obviously he's amazing. I don't want to be the virgin sitting here saying Saquon Barkley's bad, but yeah, their defense was so good. They were ahead in so many games. Saquon didn't get injured. He just broke off so many long runs. So I just think it's likely that it regresses to some extent, and it was just like the top percentile outcome last year. So not saying Saquon's a bad pick or Saquon isn't going to be a fine first round pick, but just don't think he's going to hit that upper percentile outcome that he did last year. Just because I just think it's unlikely.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, he's a really good player, so you never know. It's always randomness when it comes to some of these guys. Like health and situation and everything changes a lot, and like honestly in ways we can't predict. So it's take your shot and kind of hope things play out in your favor at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm not fading him at all. You know what I mean? Like you still want to take him there when he falls to where you can get him, because he can just absolutely break the slate. But yeah, we're nitpicking here in the first round. All these guys are studs. So I see you eyeing your boy Ladd there.
That's fingers crossed. That's who makes it to us, but it's fine if it doesn't.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's both of AJ Brown and Ladd. That's like two guys that me and you take all the time whenever they come to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, there goes Ladd, and
there goes both of them. All righty. I don't see that big of a difference with all these wide receivers.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking Trey McBride here. It's obviously we just took
we're going another wide receiver or another tight end build, but it's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's similar to what we did last time, but I don't. Let's go Trey. I just feel like he's the best pick here. I don't know. Like
I think so too. And then now we're just gonna try to land our wide receiver room. And I'm not worried. Even if I don't go wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, like there's a lot of guys I like later on with enough upside that I think we can figure out wide receiver.
Yeah, and I mean, like we could have the RB1 and tight end 1, right? Like that's pretty valuable here. And like the thing with wide receiver is like obviously there's guys I prefer here, but like I think after AJ Brown there is a tier break. You can maybe say T. Higgins, or you could maybe say Tyreek, or I don't know. You can make cases for it, but I view it as a slight tier break. And then, yeah, we can just make it up with volume of guys in these next 4 or 5 rounds. And
Yeah.
we could have the RB1 and tight end one, which is like, that's huge.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I honestly, I think the elite tight ends this year are, I think, at least from my own opinion, I think they're a lot more predictable than last year. Like Bowers and McBride, I mean, you have to click them up earlier, but I'm actually way more confident clicking them compared to some of the guys that were going like the Kelseys, the Andrews, the Laportas of the past. So
100%.
yeah, I think Bowers and McBride. There's outside of injury, I don't really see a situation where they don't like put up numbers again.
Yeah, you can. I think both those guys could just lap the field at tight end, and then you're not worried about taking him in the second round then, or Bowers in the early second, or even up into the first. So
yeah, yep.
The gang revisits elite tight end. Yeah, well,
the board falls that way.
yeah, I mean, I've been a Mark Andrews slappy. I've been Kyle Pitts slappy before that. Like, I'm always going to be in on the elite tight ends, even though Kyle Pitts never really was that. But
all right. All right, wide receivers. Do you have any preference between these guys? You said you kind of see them all in the same way, but is there anyone you lean?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of like Adams. Probably Adams or DJ Moore. I don't know. I think they have a good mix of good offenses and going to get a big target share. So
yeah,
I think Garrett Wilson and JSN, we were talking about them. I just think for obviously Bestball here in the 3rd round, it's fine. But I just think projectable volume wise, it's whatever, which we're not necessarily playing for projectable volume. But since it's going to be our wide receiver 1, I slightly lean that way. And also, I'm just a huge fan of Devontae, and I think it's just going to be a match made in heaven in LA for him. So I don't think he's fallen off at all. And
no, he hasn't.
Yeah, and paired with Stafford, who's like the kingmaker at quarterback, I just think I think you can make a case for Adams. Like I said, pretty much after AJ Brown there, I think you can make a case for him going there. So don't mind taking him where he falls to us, where he does.
Yeah, I mean, Adams is just like, at this point, he's kind of the Derrick Henry of wide receivers. Like, everyone's like saying he's going to fall off or scared to take him because of the age, but then, he goes out there and just puts up points for you. So, and the thing with Adams is, like you said, he hasn't shown any signs of playing worse at all. So I think he can still play. And, we do always have to worry about the age cliff because it's called a cliff for a reason. It could come at any point. But I mean, like you said, with Stafford and that offense, I think Adams he's gonna have plenty of like wide receiver 1 weeks where they feature him instead of Puka. So
absolutely, yeah. No, people are scared of the age, but
yeah, just take good players. Like don't be scared about it.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Bijan at running back, Devontae Adams and Trey McBride, 3 grown-ass men through 3 rounds, and we will continue with that in mind and build out this grown-ass man team.
Devontae's going to be Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's he might be really good until he just decides to retire. At some point, yeah. He's just one of those players that he's such a skilled route runner, and that he doesn't rely on like the athletic like gifts or tools as much as other players do. So I think he's someone that's is going to age better than some other wide receivers who do need the speed or other athletic ability to put up points.
Yeah, Slayden says, I feel way safer with Devontae Adams playing 15 plus games than Puka. I mean, I'm not in the business of predicting injuries. Obviously, Puka has had injuries throughout college and his first couple of years. But, I mean, you could say the same thing about Devontae being 32. So, I mean, I think – but I do think, like, if either one of them were to go down, then the upside for the other one is just Cooper Kupp the year he went absolutely nuclear. So –
yep.
I think that's actually like a kind of a positive for both of them. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Puka's injuries
Okay. So look, Hampton just went before us, so now I think we're. Is there any player here that you're leaning towards?
Probably wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind Smith or Flowers. Obviously, we can't stack them because the quarterbacks are going to go. But
Yeah, I think those are the
I
two.
think it's just a kind of a.
Do you have a preference? I kind of prefer Flowers a little bit.
I think I prefer Flowers. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the problem with Smith is just the amount of passing volume in that offense is it's very low. So there's like week to week there's just a lot of volatility, and I think Flowers is also a player that has taken and could take another step forward. So especially I think Andrews is kind of on the down there, and Flowers is kind of trending up. So yeah, I definitely see Flowers as someone that has more room to grow, and yeah. I mean, anyone tied with Lamar, even in a passing situation, is someone I like taking bets on.
Yeah, and right, it's Andrews actually was not as bad as I think people think he was last year.
Yep.
But I mean, it's basically Andrews and Flowers there, and then just a bunch of other like Bateman is there, but he didn't really get very much volume. And they probably will be higher passing volume than the Eagles in most outcomes. So I'm willing to take the shot on Flowers, year 3 guy, and yeah, just a good player, good offense. That's a good bet to make. So
yeah.
Hartman says Jason is so hard to click over Devontae with Seattle's offensive situation. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's very true. And I was pretty in on JSN before when they still had Geno and they didn't have Cup. I was like, okay, like if he's just getting a shit ton of volume, and Geno is a pretty good quarterback, I'm in just kind of based on as a volume play and just betting on the talent for him, but it's a little bit murkier now with everything that happened. And Sam Darnold without KOC calling plays, yeah, I agree. I'm not in on Darnold.
Okay, we're up here again.
You want to go Tet? I mean, I feel like at this cost,
yeah,
I don't mind Godwin.
Yeah, that's exactly who I had in mind. I think Tyler Godwin. I think Godwin just is obviously the safer play. There's some upside there. I'm good with either.
Let's go Godwin. I feel like,
okay.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think there's some things
based on our build. I think based on our build, I just feel very confident that Godwin is going to get. I mean, he was the wide receiver 2 last year in points per game and in full PPR. So
yeah,
I'm not super worried about his injury, and I think that just helps us catch up after going Bijan and McBride, and we can still take rookies later for upside. So yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing with Tet is there's always a possibility he gets just not a great landing spot for year 1 production. Like if he goes to the Cowboys, like I don't necessarily think his year 1 production is going to be matching Godwin's at all, because Lamb is still going to be the focal point there. So
yeah, I mean he can still give you spike weeks, obviously in the playoffs and everything.
Yeah,
but it's from a full season perspective. Godwin's just. And Godwin has a high ceiling as well, right? Like as we saw last year and in previous years. So.
And it seems like he's doing well coming off that ankle injury, so I think he'll be good to go.
Yeah, still got Baker there. Should be a high passing volume offense. Just everything you want. So yeah, we got 3 guys, good offenses, and have a good floor ceiling combo, right? Where it's like they're going to get a pretty good target share, and they also have upside just for monster games, based on the fact that they're in good offenses. So, okay. The only silver hope for Darnold is, I'm just willing to be out on the Darnold bet. I just don't. I think obviously it could work out, but I just don't see with the battle line. They could improve it a little bit, but battle line and Cup has been falling off the last couple of years, and just not a good combo.
Yeah, that's I'm not that calm about Seattle's situation at all either.
We got I like Huron River Rat in the 12 hole. I like that build. It's a Genty CMC Worthy, Rice, Travion Henderson, and then Juwan Jennings. So he's got a little KC and San Fran thing going, and he got Travion Henderson, who we were talking about, as a good pick there. So that's a pretty fun start, actually. I don't think that seems pretty unique.
I like it. That's a pretty high upside bet too. Like CMC if he stays healthy, Genty, and then the two wide receivers. If he puts gets Mahomes in this build, this is really solid.
We're getting more Christmas tree comments.
Yes, the Christmas tree is still up. Haven't figured out where to put it. So you know what? We're just at this point. I'm just gonna leave it. Every time I come on your stream, even if it's like the middle of June, July, the tree will still be there.
Exactly.
The chat has convinced me to not take it down.
Yeah, you got to commit to the bit now.
I'm committed.
Let's see. Are there any other interesting teams here? Any builds so far? Can you pull up the board really quick?
Oh yeah.
We're up in one pick.
Yeah. We'll do it. Is there anyone here that you're looking at that you prefer?
Yeah, this is a weird range because I feel like we could go Connor Judkins at running back, or I don't mind going Ridley or Jacoby. I kind of feel like we should go receiver here, just based on our build. We're gonna feel better about the running backs coming up. You want to go Ridley since we went?
Okay, let's do Ridley.
Jacoby last time.
Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit.
I mean, if it's Ward with Ridley, I think Ridley's still a pretty solid player. Obviously, just pretty bad quarterback situation last year, but I think he's a pretty good pick here.
I think he's a guy who'll give you spike weeks. They might go another wide receiver. They likely will go another wide receiver later in the draft, like maybe second round or third round. But I don't think any of those guys are going to pass up Ridley as their number one option. So
definitely.
And I think Ward is good enough to get the like. I like Ward. Let's just say I like Ward more than I liked what they had last year with Levis there at quarterback. So
absolutely. So yeah, we got some adults in the wide receiver room with Devontae, Godwin, and Ridley to kind of build that out after we took non-wide receivers early. So yeah, that's right. That's how it goes. You want to middle it a little bit, and we'll have some more fun guys coming up here at our next pick that we can shoot for some outside. So
yeah, I have someone in mind.
Got some ideas.
I got some ideas. Let's see if he makes it to us.
Zane says, had a grand old time matching up Ridley, Ward, Kyle Williams, or Conway. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's a low cost, right, for everyone. Ridley's the only guy that's really expensive. So Tennessee needs Jaden Higgins. Yeah, I can see that. Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, something like that. Is Gritty in this room with us? I wasn't even paying attention. Hit him. Oh, we got the man himself. Hit him with the Gritty.
He's right next to us. He's got the Jefferson, Taylor, Harrison, Hurts, Kamara, Harris. All right, he's got a pretty balanced team going right now as well. Probably needs to start hitting those wide receivers too.
Yeah, I know he's a big Najee guy, so he took Najee and Jay Jefferson. Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, definitely got to start hammering some wide receivers, which I know he's anchor wide receiver guy sometimes, but he's
there goes the Mahomes.
Oh,
the naked Mahomes. That's unfortunate.
Rough.
That guy is not having a good day.
No.
That's unfortunately the risk. And look at that. There's two options. I'm gonna put them up right now. There's one that's the safe option and one the fun option.
I kind of feel like we go Hunter.
I mean, I think we can just hammer running backs after this too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just make this more fun. That's who I was wanting to make it back to us.
Let's
Now we got some real upside in this room. Look at that. We got those couple boomers here to hold down the fort, and then getting some high upside bets too.
Fun pick deserves some I just want us to get sniped because I have some fun ones. So So yeah, we got the old crusty vets in here, and then we bring in a nice young exciting Travis Hunter into the room for the upside. And yeah, I mean obviously I like Connor and I like Judkins, but I just feel like we're going to be able to get running backs that we like later on, and wide receiver falls off pretty quickly, and just the highest upside bet at this price. So
Yeah. I mean, I've been taking a bunch of Hunter, but the great part is I was getting him at like pick 120, 130, 140 earlier. And to be honest, even at this price, I think he's still cheap. I have a feeling by the time we come around, to best ball like season, he's going to be a 4 or 5 turn pick guy.
100. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Right, we get some coach speak index stuff that's saying they're gonna, start him at the season playing a good amount of wide receiver, and maybe as the season goes on, he'll up that. I think he's gonna continue to shoot up board. So don't mind taking him at this increased ADP.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think the Browns are probably going to take him, and from what the quotes I've seen from their GM is that they see him as a wide receiver first. So
yeah,
I think as long as he can avoid landing with the Giants, because I think the Giants he will probably be splitting what he plays a bit more, and of course they have neighbors there as well. I think I'm not really worried about Judy blocking him in any way. So yeah, I think Browns. Patriots would be the best spot, but I just don't think he's going to make it to them. So
yeah,
Browns are probably the likely spot right now.
And they just signed Joe Flacco. So
that's
if we know anything.
We know how that works.
Well, he'll air it out. So
how about a little bit round 20 Joe? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Zero chance I would be drafting Joe Flacco this year. But
can I interest you in a Kenny Pickett? No, I'm just kidding.
I bet you someone has taken him in these drafts.
Oh, 100%. Someone definitely has. We got Jason, who's sure on River Rat, St. Badgeless going Naked Mahomes classic. Yeah, that's just big board season for you in a nutshell. We got Candyman, Fantasy Football Garage, saying I'm in on Hunter there, so he knows ball. Slayton, speaking of Chiefs, how do you feel about Pacheco? I haven't gotten much of him, which feels sort of skittish given his ADP is like 100 plus. I'm willing to bet against the 7th round guy who has been injured. I think we've been talking about this running back class just being super deep. So even if they take a guy in like round 4, round 5, I just don't think they have any loyalty to Pacheco given his draft capital and everything. So I'm not really going to be taking him at all unless he falls way past ADP. I'll have a very 1% or 2% or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. All right, coming back around to us.
All righty, here we got. Let's see, what do we have here? Anything interesting you hear? I don't mind Downs. I don't mind Diggs. I don't mind pulling up like a Skattebo or something. Are there any other running backs here that you like?
Yeah, I think Skattebo we can wait on.
Okay, you want to go Downs or Diggs, and then just
yeah, I'm good with that. Do you have a preference between the two? Okay, we're just gonna go Downs.
Let's go Downs. I was gonna say
let's just keep taking the guy.
I was not looking at the clock, but yeah, no, I'm in on Downs. I picked 92.
Yeah.
He's a talented receiver, and let the chaos play out, and I'll
and we let Gritty get his guy in Ramondre. We're not gonna snipe him on that. He would have been sad if we did.
Yeah, let's see. So Gritty's got Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Kamara, Najee Harris, Ramondre, and then the anchor wide receivers with Justin Jefferson and Marvin Harrison. So
he's got to hit the wide receivers now, but
yeah,
his running back room is pretty set. There's some downside risk, of course, with these guys just because of the draft still, but I think they're pretty. They should be pretty safe in the draft for the most part, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Najee pick. He's obviously increased in he's been going up, but I don't mind it. I mean, obviously the Chargers are gonna run the ball, and even if they do add someone, he should still get solid work. So I don't mind it. Kamara, kind of scary without Carr, but he will get volume, and I don't know. Ramondre scares the piss out of me. I just feel like they're live to draft someone, whether it's like an RJ Harvey or whoever, and like even if it's the 4th round or 5th round, and I don't know. Ramondre just has been injured and new coaching staff, so Not my
Yeah.
guy, but he is Gritty's guy. So go with your gut.
Yeah. Something we do need to start thinking about at some point is which QBs we want to go with to get.
Backstack with,
Yeah.
since we missed out on Baker. Yeah, we got some later guys.
Yeah, we do.
I guess we could have gone Diggs and then paired him with May, but let's see, we don't quarterback. I probably Skattebo and then start taking taking quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think that's the
I think we both view Skattebo as a value, so even though we're taking him ahead of ADP, it's a good second running back.
It's a good pick, and I think we do need to go running back here for sure. So
we're gonna like the combos more of Skattebo and whatever quarterbacks fall back to us than the other way around. I think.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I'm not gonna take like a Goff without any players and a Caleb as well. So
exactly. Alrighty, so we have 6 wide receivers: Devontae Flowers, Godwin, Travis Hunter, and Godwin, Ridley, Travis Hunter, and Josh Downs. 2 running backs, Bijan and Skattebo, and then McBride at tight end. So we're gonna have to take some quarterbacks and backstack and fill it out. But we got some options, and we got our second running back there in Skattebo. This is. I like the way we're building out these elite tight end teams. I think.
I think making sure your wide receiver and running backs are secure is a good way to go about it. There's just enough. There's enough good quarterback value, I feel, still in these drafts that I'm fine waiting on quarterbacks and then backfilling it. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's my preferred way to play it, and if you can get three stacked guys or at least 2 stacked guys and one with some rookies that you can bank something, that feels pretty nice. And then we're going to look back and it's going to be the elite quarterbacks just absolutely killing us. And I'm going to be like, oh, I wish I would have taken more elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I almost never find myself taking them. So,
which is interesting because I like, if you just look at the value of that they give, they do give a lot of value. Like you can make an argument, like, I mean, especially last year, right? Like Lamar was probably like a back end of first round type player, at least early second round value.
Yeah.
So I mean, Lamar and Jane Daniels and Josh Allen could, and even Hurts to some capacity. At the end of the year, you look at them, they end up giving like second, third round values to your team.
Yeah.
So that's it becomes kind of weird with them, like drafting them, because trying to stack them and fill out the room could be tricky sometimes. But I'm actually okay. Building out like a few Lamar. I definitely want to have Lamar and like Josh Allen and Jane Daniel teams. Like I'm not gonna avoid those
100%.
entirely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it also might be one of those times where if you're drafting a high volume, you can kind of do some fun stuff and flip the board and stuff. Like if you want to take whatever, like you're the 101 and you take Chase and then you go whatever, like McLaurin and Jaden Daniels or something, or I don't know, like whatever. That's just an example, but where you can kind of do that if you are drafting at a volume, because if you do view those quarterbacks kind of at a value, not something you want to be doing like all the time, but just to get some unique pairings, I think that could be fun to try.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we got quarterbacks at the top of the queue again,
and we're gonna need to start hitting running backs as well at some point. So, but there's not really anyone here right now that. Yeah, there's not really anyone that I think we should reach for either. So,
yeah, Swift is almost untouchable for me at this ADP. I don't see myself.
Yeah, I think we go quarterback probably here.
I think so too. You want to go May again?
I mean, that's the easiest one, right?
It's running quarterback. Can backstack them.
Yeah. It makes me almost think that like we probably should have gone Diggs, just because.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
too,
but actually, both times like it falls that way. But I it's okay. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Diggs was. I saw a video of Diggs running routes, and I was like, okay, he looks. Obviously, I'm no doctor or anything, but I mean, he's only like 6 months out from his ACL tear, and he looked pretty solid. So I can see Diggs being a value where he's going.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's a solid bet. If he can stay healthy, I don't think that anyone that they draft is gonna displace him as the wide receiver one for
I
this
mean, yeah,
year.
he was pretty good last year until he tore his ACL. Obviously, Dell went down, but yeah, he was putting up pretty solid games, drawing targets. So I think he's still a good pick where he's going.
Yeah. Take a look at
Okay.
ADP.
Not really interested in. Yeah, we don't have any other quarterback stacks here, so I don't really feel inclined to.
Yeah, we don't really need any of these guys.
Don't think we need a tight end at this point. Not into Swift. I think we can either. Yeah, I think we can probably take a running back here or wide receiver.
Yeah, running backs, like these are the guys like what 125. Bixby, Swift, Tuden, Spears, Benson. Wide receivers.
I think there's some fun options.
Brown, Trey Harris,
Higgins, yeah. I think we probably go running back.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though it's gonna be a bit above ADP, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine given our build.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have to force any of these wide receivers. There's not really a wide receiver that I really love that much.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for a few rounds here. I don't mind. Let's
see. All right, Gritty. Do not take a running back. You have 5 of them. Please go wide receiver, bro. It's time for you to get wide receivers.
Let's see.
Maybe he's just AFK. Gets another running back. No, he went Pittman.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Is there any running back here that you like?
I don't mind Benson, Sampson, Spears. I don't mind any of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this whole group is pretty much like the top 5 or 5 guys. Other than
let's go Benson. I see if there's ever an injury, I actually kind of like him.
A path for upside.
There's a path for upside. Right now,
it's 30, right? So, or about to be 30. So,
yeah.
And this is a fine range. This is a fine range for even if he's just a handcuff. I think this is a fine range. So,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, RB. We still have to. It's probably we have to still keep attacking it, but I think right now we're just looking for some upside guys.
Yeah, we can fill it out. Sladen says, I feel like if you go neighbors, you 100% have to take Jameis round 20 just because it's the literal neighbors. I would disagree with that. Even if Jameis starts a few games, I think he's always live to be benched. So like even if he does give you a couple games with neighbors, he'll throw 3 interceptions and then they'll go back to Ross or Tommy DeVito, whoever else is available. So I just don't think it's a shot I want to take. Hartman says, what's your guys' take on John? I feel like you got the perfect storm last year. I don't mind him, but yeah, I do agree. Like, I just think the O-line was so bad that they kind of were forced to just throw a bunch of dump-off passes. So I think he's fine at ADP, but not like a target. Don't think he's probably going to get fed as many dump-offs as he did this year. I guess there is upside if Tyreek somehow is out of there, which you never know with Tyreek. So I guess you could say that is his upside, is that he, if with Tyreek gone, he would get just more of those targets, but not my favorite guy. And then Creel says, I think this roster is stronger than the first time team. I think it's about the same.
Yeah, they're stronger in different parts. It's the build's pretty similar. Oh, Noel goes at 132. That's 40 picks above ADP.
If you're on River Rat, who's Jason in the chat, he's getting ahead. He knows we're gonna.
He knows who we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, we probably weren't gonna take him for a while, so we could have waited a little bit. But
yeah, I think
get your guy.
Yeah, I think I took him with Emo Cowboy. I think I took him in like the 130s or 140s because I was just like, okay, do I want Xavier Leggett or do I want Jalen Noel? I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really want Leggett anyway, so I just pulled him up. But
Yeah.
obviously, you usually want to play the ADP game and try to push.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you get to this range of like wide receivers, like looking at these guys, like it's fine to take Noel. I think he's fine click. It's just like you can play like you said, play ADP game, take other guys in other positions, and then grab them even like maybe 10 or 20 picks earlier.
Yeah, exactly. We got Beachhead in here with the Man's Coin Avi. It's some great lore right there during COVID. Man's Coin. Okay, let's see what we're going to be up here. So we are at 3 running backs, 6 wide receivers. I think there's some both guys at wide receiver and running back that we both like. We could go quarterback here. I think we probably push it. Yeah, let's see. I think we probably push quarterback unless you want to go.
Yeah,
unless you want to go Ward to pair with Ridley, but I don't think we need to.
No,
I probably am
push it here.
Samson.
Yeah.
Samson or honestly Jerome Ford or Giddens for this build.
Let's go Samson. I like Samson more than both those guys.
Okay.
Spears is the only other guy that I would consider, but we can I think we can go Samson. There's a higher upside case to be made there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think we need to do Ford because we have Bijan and Skattebo. If it's like more like a true 0 RB team, Ford is a little bit more interesting to me just based on that they're probably going to draft some running back, but he gets passing game work. He can have some explosive plays and he'll get some work even if they do bring someone else in. So he's more of like giving you a floor play, which I don't think we necessarily need on this team. So
yeah, and like you said, there's a who knows, like there's a possibility they just decide to invest like a 3rd round pick into a running back and Ford is at some point relegated to the backup.
100%. No, I would say that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah. Spears is the other guy. Like, there's like talk about the, Titans drafting another running back, but to be honest, I think there's not really a running back unless it's like a day 2 or like round 3 guy. I'm not really scared about Spears being like relegated. In fact, I think there's a good case to be made that Spears could start to share more of the workload with Pollard this year.
Spears was last year. Yeah, Spears is just a good player. Like he's a good passing down back. He can break long runs. He's good at the goal line. Kind of just good at everything. And yeah, so he'll get some standalone work even with Pollard. I think it will still be Pollard as the 1A, but he'll get more work. And we saw in the playoffs last year, contingent value was absolutely crazy. He was going for 25 for 30. So,
yep, yeah.
Skattebo feels like a Cleveland pick. Yeah, I don't mind that. That'd be pretty fun. 2nd round or 3rd round. That'd be a good spot. Penix falling all the way back here. 10 picks past ADP. I wouldn't take them because we don't have anything.
Yeah, we have Bijan, but that's it. Yeah.
You want to go Ward and just lock it up, or we could go Stafford with Devontae.
Yeah, I mean Stafford's the ADP play here slightly. The Puka. Let me see. I'll queue up Ward. Let me see where the Puka guy.
I kind of feel like Stafford, honestly.
Puka. Yeah, we can do Stafford first.
I just feel like this. Who we're gonna want if we make it to week 17? Stafford and Devontae versus Ward and Ridley. I just feel like the upside is a little bit higher there, but
yeah, no, I'm fine with Stafford. Let's go Stafford. It's also an ADP play. Like, there's a possibility that Ward will make it all the way back to us. And like, if you look at the Puka team, he has Goff and Herbert, so he does need another quarterback.
Okay.
So there was a good chance he would have taken Stafford at this pick. Whereas I think Ward could make it back to us. There's a pretty high chance, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Giddens there as well. He's a prospect I really like, so wouldn't have minded him there as well. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, Giddens, like because of the athletic testing, I'm a bit more, I think, interested in him. Prior to that, it's just like on the film stuff that I saw that people I follow, they didn't really see him showing like elite athletic traits on film. So the testing does give me a little bit more confidence that maybe he does have a bit higher upside than maybe I initially thought. But yeah, I mean, he's probably a day 4. He's like probably a round 4+ guy, right? So it will be any of those guys. It's really going to come down to landing spots, right? Like you need them to land in a good spot. But I don't mind the dart throw. I think Giddens is he's a solid dart throw that you can take.
Exactly. Let's see. And all of a sudden, Gritty came into left field and told me what's going on with Gritty. Let's check really quick while we have a moment.
Gritty, there he is.
He's got Hurts, Kamara, Najee, Hawkinson, Ramondre, Etienne, Fields, Pittman. So I think is Pittman his wide receiver 3?
Yeah, it is. Gritty's high T. High T as it gets.
Gritty, I need what you're taking, brother.
Gritty just got out of the gym.
He just got done bench pressing.
He might be in the middle of a bench press right now. We don't know.
He's got 3 plates on each side.
He's about to take another running back. I can feel it. It's for sure happening. He's probably got Giddens in his queue right now.
I can absolutely see it. I feel like he's gonna take AJ Dillon 7 rounds above 80.
I don't doubt it.
He loves the quads. Okay, let's see. Huron River Rat. He took Knoll, like we said. JJ McCarthy. Does he have McCarthy with any Vikings?
No. But he went, the 2 Chiefs and some guy took, and then Jennings and McCaffrey, he could have gone instead of Bo Nix. He could have gone that route, but to try to like get Purdy later, but Purdy went earlier as well. So
he's got Mims and Ingram stacked up with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Knoll, Josh Palmer, Wicks. Yeah, I don't love the Palmer and Wicks clicks. I don't know. I don't mind Wicks, but
Wicks, there's a possibility. If he can actually catch the football, honestly, he can do something. But
he can do everything except for catch the football, which is kind of scary. But
yeah. All right, Kyler, Caleb. All right, well, let's see.
I think we go Ward here if he makes it to us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get once again 3 stacked quarterbacks.
Oh, this is good. This is probably why we just play the ADP game.
Yeah, there you go.
And go with that. We get both the guys that we were looking at previously. Nice.
And
this is solid. Yeah, we can still need to get a few more RBs, but pretty confident with.
There's still some guys I like coming up.
Yeah,
here.
Plenty of guys.
And then the rookie guys we like at wide receiver coming up.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
Tight end, we have the Hunter Henry out if we want that. Don't love Chig. Don't love Higbee.
No, Higbee is. I'm not drafting Higbee.
Yeah, so we can just tack on another couple tight ends, even one if we want, since we have.
Yeah.
One. So I think this might be a 2 tight end team with our running backs and receivers.
Yeah, I think we go 2 tight end.
Yeah.
And just probably get a running back secured, I would say.
Yeah, just lean into the having McBride. Hartman says last round nailer. Yeah, not last round nailer. I can see that. I would probably just go rookies and just hope you get one. Buffalo's paying Palmer a lot of money. Figure it's not to run wind sprints. I mean, he could take the Mac Hollins role. I don't know. I'm just not in on Palmer, but he could give you a couple spike weeks. I would really only take him if it was late past ADP and paired with like a Josh Allen. So
yeah. All right. Coming up, let's take a look what we have. There's a few guys I like here.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I like here.
Yeah. Who are some guys you're thinking of?
So I like Algier. I like Martinez. I like Corum for running back. Do you want to go running back here?
Yeah. Algier, we have Bijan.
Oh, we have Bijan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you want to go Martinez just for the upside?
Well, his ADP is like 181. But, no, we're in that range already. Yeah, let's go Martinez. I'm good with that.
Or you want to go Corum with our Rams bet? Oh.
What do you feel?
Let's go Corum.
All right.
I
Yeah.
feel like with our Rams bet, if we're betting against we have the Adams, we have Stafford, bet against Kyron.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. I think more of a stack there works out.
Because yeah, if Kyron does go down, then that could be a pretty, you know what I mean, pretty good combo there with the Rams.
Yeah.
We
I
could,
agree.
we could get Adam 2 touchdowns to Adams and 2 touchdowns to Corum, and we're winning. We're winning the whole thing.
No, I like this. I think we have a lot of outs at running back as well right now, based on injuries or situations getting played out. So probably take another, probably see what other rookies fall to us for running back. But the room is solid. Bijan, I think, will do a lot of the heavy lifting for us there.
Yeah, rookies and handcuffs. That's the name of the game for us. I don't mind Tillman. I feel like I don't know. Tillman is kind of interesting to me because obviously the concussions were a huge thing. He didn't really play for the whole second half of the season. I think he's a good player though. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I guess if they take Hunter, which is definitely
that's the scary thing. And what is the wide receiver 3 on the Browns with with that quarterback situation
with Joe Flacco?
Yeah. And especially they have Njoku too, right? So it's like the wide receiver 3 is basically the 4th option.
Yeah, exactly. Chris says Corum greater than Martinez. I mean, I think in a vacuum, I would probably go Martinez. It looks like some teams are really into him. Another Senior Bowl guy. Just kind of he's a big back. So some team, he's probably going to be an early down grinder, but that could be valuable if he gets in the right spot. I just think Corum is a clear handcuff on a good offense, and we already had some Rams guys, so play the ADP game as well. So, what is DMAR ADP if he goes to Dallas? Probably pretty freaking high.
I mean, if he's the only running back they take, he's gonna be probably around 190.
I was
maybe
literally
90.
about to say 100. Yeah, we're in lockstep. I was literally about to say pick 100.
Yeah, and I would be taking a bunch of them there. I think he'll be playing over Javonte.
Absolutely, with only Javonte there right now, and Deuce Vaughn. Disbanded says rookies in handcuffs. No, we're not that freaky on the stream. Come on, gotta chill out. Oh, for this team, he's saying.
Yeah.
For Corum over Martinez, yeah.
Okay, we can start taking a look. Okay, well, Henry's gone, so we don't have that one anymore. But there's some other stuff here I like.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Unstacked.
I'll start marking a few guys that I like.
I like those too.
Yeah.
What other receiver? Can you just pull up receiver really quick, just so I can see what else is here?
Sure.
Is there anything else I even care about? Not really. Let's just go Kyle Williams. He's getting some love recently. Could be. I feel like he's more round 3 pick probably. Could sneak into round 2.
Yeah.
But definitely an intriguing profile. So
he's a good upside bet here.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's see if Smith makes it back to us. And then tight end, well, it's looking like a Chig play.
I was thinking Chig, honestly.
Honestly, he's not for Bestball, he's not that bad. He's someone who actually does profile as a vertical receiver. And with Ward there, Ridley, I don't, depending on what other wide receiver they draft, I think he could still be the second option there in a better QB situation. So, and the rookie QBs are going to lean on their reliable catchers, and tight end is always a way that rookies tend to look in general. So, yeah, I could see Chig having. He's not going to. Hopefully, he never makes our lineup, to be honest. But there's worse bets at tight end, I think, than Chig. For what?
Yeah, it's stacked Chig too, which is different.
Yeah, right? No, exactly. I would never take an unstacked one, but stacked, I think it's okay. It's not that bad.
Yeah, we can see.
Let's see who else is there. There's some higher upside bets. It's just, we can see. Let's just see who comes back to us.
Yeah, we got some other rookie guys. Not really ever taking Schultz. I just don't see the upside there. Yeah, Drake May we don't have stacked. He could land with one of the rookies we took, but I mean that's fine with the rushing upside. He can. I don't really care about that. We have 2 other guys, so
Yeah.
Probably now in hindsight would have taken Diggs just to get at least one guy with him, but
Yeah, that
it's
would have
fine.
been. It's not that bad. It's fine.
JT just drafted the winning team on the bigger board. Congrats. Are you a golf guy? Are you watching the Masters or anything? I'm like the least golf guy of all time, so I have no idea what's going on. But
Okay, we're up. Smith got taken, but let's see what we have here.
We could go Fannin again, or we could just wait and take. What other running backs do we have here? Let's see. Running back.
Jaden Blue, Hunter. I mean, Shipley's probably like the.
Shipley's fine. Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
MDS. Let's just get all the backups and offenses we like. Like, I think that's a good bet.
That's a smart move. If you know my good friend Mathology, who finished first in the regular season last year for BBM, that's kind of his. He comes from a DFS background, and he just basically only targets good offense or projected good offenses. So that's a pretty smart strategy. So I think getting backups in good offenses where we think they're going to be good offenses and rookies, it's a good way to handle things.
Yeah, especially for our team. I think if any of these running backs ever are starting, that's gonna increase our projectable outcomes are gonna be significantly higher just based on our running back room. Hopefully Skattebo works out, but if any of these other guys ever land in the starting spot, I think like Corum, Shipley, like if they're the clear backups and they're starting, they're going to be projected really highly.
Absolutely.
For points that week. So,
Fantasy Football Garage says in or out on Chig over the rookies. I think on this team stacked with having McBride, I'd probably be Chig over the non Fannin rookies, just because I mean we see all the time tight ends get drafted in like the 2nd or 3rd round and just don't catch any passes whatsoever or barely play. You know what I mean? Like it just happens all the time. So
yeah, that's the only thing about Fannin is like there's scenarios where he goes like round 4 and just doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything as well. Yeah.
I mean, I like him as like a high upside bet in like 3 tight end builds, but as a second tight end, it's there's a lot of risk to doing that.
100%.
Yeah. Like I said, I think since it's like I would take the stack upside as well over that.
Yeah, agreed. So it looks like one more tight end, and then one more running back, one more wide receiver, one more tight end. So
yeah.
What is Chig's ADP? Because we can play the game with him.
It's like 218. So it's pretty much like a.
Okay, so you want to just lock him up and then just.
Yeah. That's probably the way we go.
Please don't snipe us on Chig or Congo.
Honestly, I don't care. Like, please snipe us on Chig or Congo. I beg you, please do it, so I can just click someone else. This guy's gonna do it to us though with the Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts team.
Yeah, I can see it.
Chuck the Duck, do it to us.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We could take Mason Taylor, Juwan Johnson, even if we don't get him.
Yeah, I'm okay with any of those guys. Like,
even Conklin.
Yeah, I mean Conklin, if they don't draft a tight end in the 1st round, I think he could have a good year.
Yeah, Conklin's just like weirdly consistent. Like he has like the same stat line every year.
Yeah, I mean he's the guy that okay, he's not gonna climb that much, but like let's just say they don't take Loveland or Warren.
He'll climb a little.
He'll
Yeah.
climb a little bit. He'll be like picked in like the 190s, 180s.
Yeah, if he's a starting tight end for the Chargers.
Which probably doesn't matter because these guys are all the same. But I do think like the touchdown upside is going to be a lot higher than he had with like Aaron Rodgers or other options.
Good point. Yeah, he came in, I think it was week 17. I forget who was the backup for behind Rodgers, but he came in and Tyrod just fed Conklin.
Yeah. Okay. We can just go.
Let's just go Chig. Yeah, let's just go Chig.
Yeah. Get that. Yeah, I mean this is basically the only case. This is the only scenario where I'm taking Chig is if I have basically McBride or Bowers, and I'm doing a 2 tight end build and I have Ward.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it because like I said, this is like what is this Chig's like 3rd year, 4th year?
I think 3rd year. Yeah.
3rd year. I think that he has the athletic profile where there's still some upside for like touchdown spikes, especially like I said with probably the better best QB situation he's had, I would say. There's some potential. It's not a bet I'm always making, but don't mind it.
And he's also a big RuneScape guy, so that boosts him up by like 1/2 of a spot in ADP for me. So I was a big RuneScape guy back in the day. So.
Hey, at this point in the draft, that matters. Get your guy.
Maybe I'll have to start streaming some RuneScape.
Old school RuneScape
drafts. Yeah, old school. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I didn't play it that much, but I got into it a little bit and good times.
It's pretty. I mean, it's not that fun because it's like old, but I think half of it's nostalgia and half of it's just like messing with people. So
yeah. Okay, so there's 2 guys I like here. Taj Brooks and Jarquez Hunter. Do you have a preference between either of them? I think Brooks's profile is more of a workhorse. Actually, no, they both kind of could be, but I don't know. It's a total.
I don't know that much about Taj Brooks. I just know Jarquez Hunter, the name, but I'll lean on you because you
okay.
Know more
yeah. I like both of them. They're both like late round darts, and Dynasty I'm gonna have a bunch of them.
Okay, but
nice. I think both of them basically profile as guys who have receiving ability. Brooks didn't really show it as much, but if you actually watch the film, he has pretty solid hands. So, and he's like 220 and profiles as a guy who can fall into a spot where he's getting touchdowns for you.
Let's pull up. Pull up Taj Brooks's really quick while we have one moment. 5'9", 214, 4.52, 40. He has a good agility score. Okay, yeah. I mean, 5'9", 214, just pretty solid, and 4.52. I don't mind it. Best comparable, Chase Edmonds. He was useful for a couple of years. So.
Yep, he's a guy that I think is very underrated, to be honest, and he has the ability to be like a 3-down guy. He showed that in college, and I think there might be a team that's higher in him just based on the film. So just a good dart throw, and Jarquez Hunter just profiles as a guy who has the athletic upside, that the speed. He has the speed, breakaway speed, has good enough receiving ability as well. So. You can pull up his profile too. Take a look if you haven't seen him before.
Sure. I'll pull up Jarquez. I jumped the gun. I
all good.
Unshared my screen quicker. So 5'9", 204, 4.44. Yeah, that's pretty solid. His speed score is 80th percentile. Okay, so yeah, a little bit smaller, but definitely explosive. Best comparable to DeAndre Swift. That seems pretty nice.
Yeah, he's more of that type of player, a guy who can give you the explosive yards and receiving ability. So yeah, just some guys to keep in mind. We'll see where the draft plays out.
19th, 20th round, like.
Yeah. Okay, I think wide receiver here. Let's start taking a look. I don't think we're gonna like any of these guys, but let's let's work through this and see
Let's
if there's anyone
figure
that
it
stands
out.
out. Yeah.
Did Butte go?
I doubt it. No, he didn't.
We could do Butte again as our 20th round guy.
Yeah,
Tutu.
that's. Oh
We
yeah,
could do.
2-2. I think this is could be a good
This is
2-2.
probably a 2-2 team.
Yeah. 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 Right.
Uh,
It's probably either or. Let's see.
yeah, I
2-2
guess
would be.
we don't
Yeah,
have a
2-2 sounds.
stack. We don't have a stack with May, so I mean, I guess that could be. And we already have.
Do you think? Yeah. Yeah. That's.
I think Butte is more likely to be replaced, though, probably. So.
Right. Yeah. I think so as well.
Yeah, I think I lean 2-2.
But 2-2 could be replaced too. Like you never
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Let's just go 2-2. We went Butte last time, so I'm good with going 2-2 here.
Okay, let's rip it.
Yeah.
Heavyweight! Yeah, buddy! Lightweight! Ah! Lightweight! Woo! Woo!
Not the intended purpose of the Ronnie Coleman lightweight clip, but if we're taking a guy who weighs 150 pounds, I think he has a double on
Double.
So, yeah. Any excuse I have to roll a clip, I will use it. So. All right, so we are finished up here with our second draft. Hope you guys got in with us. Let's Ferris, why don't you run through it really quick and we
sure.
can get out of here.
So for QBs, we have Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. Running backs, we have Bijan Robinson, Cam Skattebo, Trey Benson, Dylan Sampson, Blake Corum, Will Shipley, and Taj Brooks. Wide receivers, we have Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley, Travis Hunter, Josh Downs, Kyle Williams, and Tutu Atwell. And then tight end, we have Trey McBride and Chigo Kanku. So we managed to stack both Stafford, with Adams and Tutu and Corum, and then with Ward we got Ridley and a late round chick pick, and then with Drake May, no stack option there, but I think because of the running upside, it's okay. In hindsight, like we both talked about, we could have gone with Diggs instead of Josh Downs. Probably, if we were to go back, we would do that, but it's not a game. It's not a make or break situation if we didn't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's chat. If you're still in here, give us a rating on that one. Do you like it more or less than our last draft? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just such a Bowers slappy that I feel like I like the Bowers team more, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
I think like the team, the Bowers team, just the running back room, I'm a little bit more secure about, just because Brees Hampton. I mean, I think we just have a better second option. Wide receivers are pretty good, but I'm a huge Travis Hunter fan, so like. Just because we have Travis Hunter, I'm gonna.
That could really supercharge the team, right? Like
in the last draft, honestly, if we got Travis Hunter instead of like Buka, I would have been ecstatic about that team. Yeah, I still like that team. But that would have pushed it up to like an A for me.
Yeah, I think they're probably B pluses for me. Yeah,
that's what I would say as well. They're B pluses, but the upside, there's plenty of upside with both builds that, if things play out in our favor, they can work out really well for us.
Yeah, no, two good teams. I think it's the first time we've drafted Bestball teams together. So I like the Dynasty synergies coming through in our game. I think played out really well, and building out two really strong elite tight end teams. So we'll have to switch it up and it's hard for us to pass up on elite tight ends, but we'll have to switch it up next time. And
yeah. Hopefully the board falls in the way where we don't take them. But honestly, I think like this is the fact that we both play Dynasty actually helps us in drafts like this, especially like prior to the rookie draft. Is we because we've done so many startups, we kind of have an idea of maybe a bit more knowledge on where some of these rookies might land compared to players who don't play Dynasty. So I've actually really enjoyed doing these drafts, and it's awesome to jump in with these with you, because I think when I'm thinking one way, we tend to have like very similar thoughts on players, but I think you know, understanding structure and then being able to bounce ideas off each other helps us like really land the plane with these teams. So
Yeah, it's always more fun to draft with someone else, and just right, like, yeah, you can go back and forth, and I think it really pushes you to draft the best team possible versus kind of when you draft alone, it just you fall into your patterns over and over again, and you don't have anyone there to push you off your spots. And I just find it, not that it's necessarily bad, but it's good to have a mix of solo drafts and drafts with whether it's one or two or whatever, three different people with you. It just gives you that diversity in the teams you draft, which is always good. You only need one, and if you're drafting the same team over and over again, not that it's necessarily bad, but I would more lean towards having that bigger Jacquard tree, as the legendary upside people say. So, yeah, Ferris, thanks so much for driving the plane for me, for hopping on. If you guys aren't already following Ferris on X or Twitter, the link is down below. Once again, like I said, join the Discord if you're not already in there. I think we have over 60 people in there now, so a lot of really, really smart people, Dynasty players and Bestball players. So I think get a lot of good alpha in there. Going to try to get some more Dynasty content with some big names that are my mutuals and stuff, leading up to the draft and after the draft. And we will definitely have Ferris on to talk more Dynasty and Bestball content in the coming months. So yeah, thanks once again, Ferris, for hopping on. Have a good rest of your Friday night, and enjoy your weekend.
yeah, thanks for having me. Have a great weekend as well. And thanks for the chat for asking so many questions and being interacting with us as well.
Yeah, we always appreciate you guys. That's makes it lively with the chat in there, and we will see you guys next time.